Big Keish, how you feeling, man?
What's happening, man? It's cold as hell here in L.A., man.
Yes, it is. Yes,
freezing.
It is. You looking nice and warm there?
Yeah, well, we got to, man. We got to. What's happening?
Oh, man, happy Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving with the family?
Oh, man, it was great. It was great. You got time to fellowship, with family members here in the Valley. I know Ice Smith team, and then my boy and myself and, my wife got together. We all just pretty much just had a nice, comfortable, great meal. Watched some football and just chilled, man.
Yeah.
Because it was cold, you know what I mean? So it was nice, easy, and relaxing. You?
Good. Oh, man, it was great. Yes, I had a whole bunch
Did you get your pig feet?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My cornbread, my collard greens, my beans, lambs, tomatoes, potatoes, like all that stuff, man. Yeah, it was good. It was so great.
Still knocking out leftovers.
Yeah, yes, sir. 3 days.
Goodness.
3 days straight.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's the one thing I love about Thanksgiving. It's like you gonna have leftovers for the whole week or so.
Oh, yes, sir.
You know what I mean? You get turkey sandwiches and, all kind of different type of dishes you can make. That leftover sometimes tastes a lot better than when it's cooked.
Oh, absolutely. That second day, it'd be hitting different. Yes. What was your favorite dish this past Thanksgiving?
Well, you know what? My Nana, well, we like to call our Nana, Prince, she done made some type of, I think it was called buttered cornbread. She never made this one before when we get together on our annual, Thanksgiving. And man, once I tasted that with the stuffing, and they had that sweet ham, oh my goodness. She done put her foot in that damn cornbread, man. So that was one of my favorites there, And then we had some nice baked rotisserie chicken. Sister Tiff, she threw down. You know what I mean? We had some, just some 2 different type of rotisserie chicken they baked, which was nice,
Okay.
And a small turkey. We didn't go that big because normally we would deep fry a turkey, but it was cold out there. You know what I mean? So I came to Reno already done hooked up the chicken and everything, so it was good. It was good. I'd have to say the buttered biscuit is a banger.
Okay.
I gotta request that every year now from Nana Prancy.
Nice, Nana Prancy. Yeah. Shout out to Nana Prancy.
Yes.
My favorite dish was probably the banana pudding, man. It was so good. My family makes a really good banana pudding.
Yeah.
That was awesome. What was a cool thing? My wife's family we played bingo, and
that's awesome.
I scared the shit out of all of them because I get into anything I do, and I want to win. I want to win. I don't care what it is. So we played 3 games, and I went 3-0. I beat them all, and the mom buys prizes and stuff. So when you win, you get a prize, and yada, yada,
you
yada.
being a heel, I'm sure you cheated.
No,
that's just that wrestler in you, TMD.
But yelling bingo, I scared the crap out of everybody. But
I forgot to mention too. Because you're talking about desserts and stuff. So we had pumpkin pie too as well.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Oh my goodness, man,
that's my favorite.
And then Auntie C. Karina made her moist double layered chocolate cake. She'll only make this like once a year. And during that time, man, this type of cake here, it's like that. Like that Hershey bar just slaps you in your mouth. You know what I mean? You just go to put that sucker in your mouth, and that sucker just melt in there. So you got to have it with a nice cold glass of milk.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that was one of my favorite foods. The biscuits, butter biscuits, and the chocolate cake.
Wow.
Ain't that something, Thanksgiving?
With a nice nap afterwards, yeah?
Oh, big time.
There it is.
I didn't even make it through the game.
That is a Thanksgiving. There's a lot to be thankful for this year.
I know it, man. This year done went by so quick.
Yes, it did.
Everything went by quick, man.
Yes, it did. And I got to tell you, there's a lot to be thankful for. And there's somebody right now who's probably feeling thankful. And that's going to be Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Because Jacob Fatu scored himself his first solo victory in the WWE. So, man, what a big match on SmackDown. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan Werewolf, against main event Jey Uso. Did you catch that match?
Yes, I did. Of course I did.
Big Keish, I know this match was you had to be invested emotionally because that's your son and it's Jacob Fatu. What were your thoughts on this match?
I thought they delivered. And you know what I mean? It was a big moment for Jacob, a big moment for Jay, you know, to be able to, you know, finally get to mix it up, you know, one-on-one with, you know, his cousin. And, you know, it's a huge bucket list, I would say, right? You know, you finally get to, you know, work with your cousin, wrestle with your cousin, and, you know, get in there and just, you know, have one hell of a match, you know. The movements and the facials, the storytelling, you know, it's just, you know, I'm not surprised because that's what these boys have trained for. And, you know, Jay's been 17 years, and I was more so happy for Jacob.
Right.
Because Jacob is just starting his career in the WWE, and, you know, hell, we look forward for a lot more from this kid. So, great match, you know. Hey, it was a 1, 2, 3 for Jacob. Elevate Jacob to the next level. I mean, you know, he beat a reputable person, you know, not only his cousin, but, you know, we're talking about Jay, the, you know,
the hottest superstars on the planet right now.
The hottest superstar, the Yeet Man. So, I mean, that resume alone right there, you know. So it was good. It was good. I was very happy, both of them.
And of course, he went over with his finishing move. And Corey Graves, you can call it the Impaler DDT. It's not. It's no problem.
Right. Big shout out to Gangrel.
Yeah, and
right?
I love the nod to Gangrel with the Impaler DDT. He called it the Impaler DDT once on WWE television. I don't know why the change, but it's the implant DDT apparently. But I just love the.
That was good. He called too. I was told that Jacob had called David and asked David, was it okay that he uses his finishing move? And David gave him the green light. You know, David is like Uncle David to Jacob. You know, being here at Knox Pro back in the day when Jacobs first started, you know, Jacob had 3 trainers breathing down his neck all the time. You know, you had David Gangrel, you had Reno, and then you had myself. You know, so it was nice to know the respect level that he was able to, you know, call David and ask David was what, you know, if it's okay for him to use the Impaler. I'm sure David's happy to.
The respect and the love.
Right?
That just got me choked up right there.
Yeah, but, you know, that's nothing new for us. Like, if you're coming from this school and you are taught underneath us like that, even yourself, all you kids, you know, like, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. Shame on you if you didn't have the respect to even call and ask, right? What, all of a sudden, this is your move? Like, no. Give respect where respect is due. You know, follow the correct protocols, and you don't get no heat. So,
yes, sir.
Big shout out for Jacob for being smart.
And it just looked awesome. So
he does it well.
But yes, absolutely. He made it his own. I've seen.
And David probably just broke it down details, too. How you go to hook the guy. You know, the timing-wise when you're going to lift the guy. Because if that guy's not going up while you're trying to muscle this guy up, the chances are you're not going to get that full motion from the Impaler. You know what I mean? So, but it looked real good. Jay took a hell of a finish. You know, the control body movement of both individuals really delivered that finish and looked well.
And I love the psychology going in because you know, Jay, he took the loss going into Wargames, so you're not sure what's going to happen. Are they going to be victorious or are they not going to be? And we all know the OG Bloodline was victorious against Bloodline 2.0. Huge victory here, of course, with the help of CM Punk and Sami Zayn. What was your thought on the overall match, on the Wargames match?
Man, they delivered. You know, bodies flying all over the places, good spots. You know, it was one of those top tier matches, what we all expected it to be, right? And I was, you know, looking for a lot of the big wow moments during that match. You know, you had Jimmy did his little, you know, wow moment coming off the top, Whisper in the Wind move. I don't even think I've ever seen him done that before. paying homage, I guess, to the Hardy Boys, right? And then you see big man Bronson come off the top, man. I don't know. That was
That's in my questions. I was going to ask you about that.
That was kind of awkward, though, to see.
Because you know a thing or two
Yeah.
about jumping off cages, Big Quiche. Since we're talking about it, let's go ahead and dive into it. What went wrong, do you think, on that splash? Because you have been in that exact same position before, so you know a thing or two about it. Apparently, he was injured. He had to be helped to the back after the show, and there's reports that even Triple H had came out and said that it's questionable. His health right now is questionable.
Yeah.
What do you think went wrong on that jump?
Well, it's for me after watching the repeat slow motion of the video. You can tell that his weight when he landed, and he basically just kind of jumped from the top and landed on both, both ankles, on both feet. What I'm saying, one foot flattened out, and the other foot kind of landed sideways, which got injured. That's where he got injured. The technique of that for a big man is, when I was taught from Uncle Jimmy Superfly, how to splash. So when you see Jimmy splash from the top, he spreads ego. Like your arms are wide open like an eagle. Then your legs are the same way. They're wide open. So when I come down, when you splash a person, you're breaking the fall with your elbows and the flat part of your arm here. You're not going to hurt that. But when it comes to your legs, you're actually breaking the fall with the side of your knees.
Sir.
So you're not really landing on the top of your your foot, right? And so I think somewhere there, and plus, if you watched Bronson, he didn't take off when he flew off from the top, like flattened out. It was just like a drop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so if you go back and you see how I came off, I thought there's techniques especially for a big man. The bigger you are, the heavier you are, the faster you're going to come down from gravity. And so I'm just, would have been nice, hopefully that, would have been nice for Bronson to try that before on a crash pad before, because that's a huge moment.
Yeah.
That's a huge moment, a huge match. And now that you're hurt right now, the show goes on, man. You know what I mean? And pray that he's not going to be out, that long. But if it's the type of injury what they're talking about, yeah, he could be out for. That's reconstruction of your ankle.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So they got to put all that together. They got to put all the tendons back together. So is that, And so, yeah, let's just big shout out to Bronson and, his family. And, unfortunate, this is the business that we're in. You know what I mean? There is no sympathy of when people get hurt because this is what you signed up for. And this is the reason why it's so important that we preach and we tell and we teach here at Knox Pro to perfect your craft. It's not a game. It only took him 30 seconds to come from that top cage to hit and boom. He didn't even know he was going to break his ankle, And so another thing that, that I want to, put out there was, I don't know if he had his ankles strapped up. You can rest assured underneath my boots, my ankles were strapped up 2-3 times because I knew that I was going to take this big fall off of the top of the cage. So I got to have something that's going to brace my ankles. I had like 2 knee pads up underneath my knee pads because I needed to have some type of cushion to protect my knees, and then the rest is just, hey, suck it up, hold that breath and, pray that your opponent doesn't get hurt. So, coming down to not only to break that, who knows, he probably hurt his ribs by hitting the table. You know what I mean? So let's all pray for better days, fools, Bronson.
Absolutely. We're going to still stick with War Games here for a second, Big Quiche. We got a caller, actually, who had a very good question that I actually wanted to get you on with.
All right.
Team, we still got the caller on. All right, what's his name? David, you are on with Big Keish on Off the Top. What is your question?
Hey, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, both of you. My
Thank
question is
Likewise.
kind of a two-parter. First part, after like yesterday's Raw, Seth Rollins, he had a confrontation with Sami Zayn, and he was talking to him, and he was like, Roman's still the same. And so, what I wanted to ask is, as a tribal elder, Rikishi, like with all the success that he's been able to deliver, does Roman have the right to be and continue to stay the same, to stay that entitled person? This is my WWE, my island, you know? Or as a tribal chief, someone who's supposed to be the head of the family, the head of the table, should he be humble? Should he really apologize? You know, like I wanted your take on that. And the second part to my question is ever since WrestleMania, and I know we just had the Civil War with the Bloodline, but ever since WrestleMania, even a little bit before, Roman told Solo, "You're next in line," and Solo stepped up when Roman failed. So it's like, is Solo justified in his actions?
Wow,
That's what I got. But I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. That's a good question. Well, to answer your first question, I think Roman has all the right. In this industry, this business turns, the wheel turns. And it's been 75 plus years since the dynasty been, blood, sweat, and tears. I'm going way back, man, past, present, and future. And so when you finally got, a guy like Roman who's seen all this, the struggles of his family for years and years in the WWF, WWE back in the day, of not being taken care of, not being treated their fair shot of the wrestling industry, who we done gave so much to, and like any other wrestler, but in this family particularly, right? We have given so much, and when the time comes, Roman, who knows? He was prepped up for this, and there's so much from years of what he's seen his father, what his uncles and everybody else that came before him. Yoko, Umaga, the list goes on, The Rock, and, The Rock can be part of that light that Roman has seen, what it is to take power and hold on to power. And so this, this thing here was not given to Roman. Let's make that very, very clear to those that are listening. This was not given to the Bloodline. The Bloodline took the opportunity, ran with the opportunity, and revenue start pouring in for WWE for what, the last 4 or 5 or 6 years. And so it's not nothing given to Roman Reigns. So of course, if you got guys like Seth Rollins and all these other guys, that all this drama's going on as far as Monday Night Raw this past Monday, there's a lot of tensions there, you know what I mean? Because, at one time, Romans used to be with Seth Rollins. And, who knows? I'm sure they know each other very, very well. They went through the struggles together from being, in developmental, in the early stages of their career. But with Roman, this goes way, way back, Oos. This goes way back, past, present, and future. So there's a lot of purpose why this kid needs to be where he's at, needs to stay where he's at, needs to protect what he's got. And, as far as with the family, hey, of course he's always going to be humble with the family. The family is all smarts. We what you see now, it might seem like it's the end to a lot of the fans, but don't count out the Bloodline, man. Remember, we family, we blood. It's actually right now, it's us against the world of professional wrestling.
Dave, thank you very much for that great question. And wow, that is the truth, Big Keish.
Yeah, it's just, you know what I mean? It's just, man. I mean, it happens too out in independent circuit. all these different companies that you go to, right? If you're the man at that company, you got all those that are, underneath. If you're not gunning for that spot, well, why are you there?
Copy.
You know what I mean? And they say that once you get to the top, it's easy. Now you made it. No. It's even harder because everybody, there's nothing, damn if you do, damn if you don't. There's nothing right you can do in others' eyes because there's jealousy, there's envy. People are like, they would trade spots with Roman today. If they were given the opportunity, they would trade it right now. And again, who knows? It might be the legits. It might be the big payoff. It's no secret that what this kid what he's making.
Right.
He worked hard for it. He deserved it.
Yep.
All the way. I'm talking about every member of the bloodline, every member of those that are coming into the bloodline. Like that's a huge opportunity. You know what I mean? And can you imagine how many of the boys back there that are wanting to be a part of that angle?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's all they should. That's all they.
It's the hottest thing, like you said, in the last 4 or 5 years. It's the hottest thing in wrestling.
Hey.
Dare I say, wrestling history. There's no storyline that has ever gone on in the world of professional wrestling.
It's a night off, being able to work with those that you love, work with your, those that can be a plus to this storyline, and you're just having fun. You're making money, you're having fun, you're traveling the world together, and all those that are in that group, it's almost like you got a head on a swivel, because there's talks behind the scenes, there's people behind there gunning for you. You know what I mean? They there's always somebody that's gonna be, trying to stick that knife in the back of your neck when you turn around after they smiled at you in the front of your face. Ain't got no balls to say it in front of you. But that's what it is, yeah. Come correct.
Yes, sir. So there was a lot more going on in War Games that made some headlines. But before I get to that, I wanted to ask you a question about Solo. What do you think, with this loss at the War Games, Bloodline 2.0, what do you think will be Solo's next move?
So, how many, let me throw this out. How many finishes did Solo take?
He took like 18. It took like 18
all right.
moves to put him down. Yeah.
So, I mean, Solo is only one man.
Yes, sir.
You talking about 18 finishes or 18 moves? I just watched the ending part where Roman speared him. All right. So I'm assuming that everybody else had to give their finishes.
Right.
All right. So to answer your question, like I said before, this that happened to Solo, if they would have beat somebody else in the War Games, it wouldn't have brought that effect as if they would beat the boss, the man himself, the made man, Solo Sikoa. It wouldn't have meant nothing. You couldn't beat Jacob. Otherwise, you'd kill his career right off the bat.
Right.
That's his first big, pay-per-view, right? You couldn't, that. Do we get weight when if we beat Bronson? Bronson just came in. The Tongan boys, the Usos, Tokos just came through. Mm-hmm. So there was no...
Had to be Solo.
Exactly. Yeah, it had to be Solo because people were so invested into this heel. And listen, man, big shout out to Solo. Hey, I'm going to tell you why. Solo was stepped up. He had to step his game up. Once the man, the guy that brings all the banks in, Roman Reigns, once he stepped out, and here comes Solo. There was a lot of pressure, right? Is he going to be able to carry that weight? Can he carry the ball? But we've seen the short amount of time, the growth of this professional, learning that all what he's learned, the timing when this thing happens, that he was able to adapt into this Solo Sikoa role. And, you know, you can hear it. The fans don't lie. You know what I mean? When he's out there, I mean, he got heat so quick is because, like, how Solo invested himself into this character of who he is. The Suge Knight of professional wrestling, I tell you. Right? And so, yeah, so he's a made man. Whether they gave him 18 or 20 finishes, you know, you put Solo up on a marquee, fans are still going to come because they still want to hate this guy. They still are not happy about, you know, about this finish as well, right? And who knows? People might think this is over because now, you know, Roman got the 1, 2, 3 on the tribal chief.
Right.
So who knows where it's going to go? Maybe the tribal chief comes 2.0 comes to Roman. Maybe they plot something to get together to take over the whole WWE. Who knows?
Does the Bloodline 2.0 need a wise man?
I honestly think that advice can be good for something like a consultant. And I'll leave it at that. But I got full confidence in, you know, Solo. Solo's he's a college graduate, my man. This kid is smart. He knows. He sees it coming a mile away. He knows how to adapt, you know. And so if you don't come correct towards Solo, yeah, well, he's gonna call you out on it, most definitely. You know, it's his time to eat. It's his time to eat. He's been out for a minute, you know, perfecting the craft, waited his turn, waited for his opportunity. 2025, I see Solo Sikoa, WWE champion.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk to you really quick. I need another 1 to 10 from you. So did you get a chance to check out the women's match?
I got a chance to, you know, to pop into Twitter. And, you know, first of all, I want to say happy birthday to my daughter-in-law, Naomi.
Hey, happy
Trinity.
birthday.
Trin, hey, Trin. Happy birthday. I'm not going to put your age out there. But, yeah, you know, people were just tagging me on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Trin backed it up on, I think it was Nia Jax, I think it was. So,
yeah.
And I only know that because, you know, everybody just kept tagging me on Twitter about it. And I said, well, let me see why everybody's tagging me.
So speaking of Nia Jax, brother, yeah, the internets have been going crazy. They've been running amok with regarding her steel chair slinging capabilities, if you will.
Yeah.
You've been hit with plenty steel chairs in your life. You've given quite a few steel chair shots in your life. On a 1 to 10 basis, how would you rate Nia Jax's steel chair swinging capabilities at Wargames?
Man, what as a wrestler, I'll tell you what, as a Samoan, you gotta swing that damn thing, right? I think she was being too nice, or you know, I don't know, did they, you know, teach them how to swing a chair over where she was trained at as far as in the, you know, developmental. But yeah, man, you know, it almost looked like a love tap, or I don't feel like she wanted to swing the chair, but she didn't want to hurt somebody.
She hesitated, yeah.
Because it just, you know, I seen it, but I didn't know it was slow motion from editing, or I don't know. But when I kept looking at it, just the way she was swinging it, like, now, if you're listening, next time you grab that chair, it's okay. Swing that damn thing like Babe Ruth. I want you to knock it out the park. And if anybody comes to you complaining about it, about the chair shot like that, well, hey, this is the game that we're in. This is what it is. You know, if you can't take a chair shot well, you in the wrong business. You know what I mean? So I don't want to blame Nia about how the chair shot. It looked bad, right? But I think it's just part of her not knowing how to swing the chair, and at the same time, who knows? The emotion is her friend or
Right. She could have
family
been protecting
members.
her. She didn't want to.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying there, we got to put those out from your head when you performing, right? You know, Joe, if I'm gonna hit you with a chair,
it's like bring it.
I'm gonna hit you with it.
Yes, sir.
But doesn't mean like I'm gonna hit you hard, like to where I'm trying to like I'm mad at you, right? It's never that. We gotta protect what we got, and so yeah. So hey, you come to Knox Pro. Let me show you how to swing that chair the right way.
So on a 1 to 10,
keep practicing.
About
3.
But there it is, 3.
I think.
Yep. That's fair.
And that's just
that's fair.
Practice make perfect.
Yeah, and we're not bagging on Nia Jax. This is what the people are talking about out there. And
I want her to learn how to swing the chair correct.
Exactly why I brought it up. Because
if I say that chair shot was an 8 or a 10, then I'm lying.
Right.
But I just want her. This is with love. That's what I'm saying here.
Yes, sir.
With love to Nia. It's like, man, come on over here. Let me teach you how to take a dummy, one of those boxing bags, and just take a chair and just start wailing on the side of those boxing bags out there, and it'll come to you. It'll teach you your timing and how much you should swing, the pressure. You know what I mean? So it takes practice to swing chairs.
Hardest chair shot you think you've ever taken, personally, and by whom? Who gave it to you?
Yeah, I'd have to say the Destruction Brothers.
The Undertaker and Kane?
Kane,
the
Taker.
Brothers of Destruction, okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Ooh,
the
Rattlesnake.
The Rock.
Okay.
I'm naming all those from Attitude Era.
Exactly.
Because that's how we did it.
That's all I know as a viewer.
And when we, it was one of those things. If you gave me a chair shot, and you brought it, right? Which that's what I expect you to. We expect each other to do it. You can rest assured that there's a receipt coming. You know what I mean? And you'll see now when, back in the day, we'd go out, man, the heads are busted the hard way, right? You see the back is bruised up, man. You don't feel it when you come back. You'll see the marks, but you'll feel it after when you're taking the ride going back to the hotel. That's when it's even worse the following day. Because now the bruise is all bruised up. Mm-hmm. Your bones have been taking time to kind of feel what just happened. So, yeah, man, chair shots, it ain't no joke.
Yes, sir. So we'll get ready to wrap it up here. I got 2 more questions for you. One, the New Day, they're done. The New Day has been on a 10-year run of awesomeness, one of the greatest factions in pro wrestling history. And I wanted to get your thoughts on the New Day. What are your thoughts? First of all, it's come to an end.
They are a team to remember. I know they, back in the day when they used to work with my boys, I used to love watching those guys work together. You know what I mean? Because these are the teams that did the work, got on all the pre-shows, but they were good enough to be on the pay-per-view.
Right.
Somehow never reached up into the pay-per-view. So they kept working. And, it came to a point to where these guys' chemistry together, New Day and the Usos, that their chemistry was so poetry in motion. Like, this is the type of match that would steal the show if they were on any card, as far as house shows. Mm-hmm. And so, to know a team like New Day has come to, to his temporary stop. Temporary stop. There's no way that this team can not be able to be formed to come back. They definitely have earned their flowers. Definitely smart kids, New Day. Every time when I see them, they always show respect. They're very respectful kids, good athletes, good workers, even better people behind the scenes. And so to be able to see, their closing of last night, you can see right there. They're just professionals. I mean, you almost had me crying seeing E. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all just, played off each other so well. It's like, that goes to show you a team that's been through it, that's kept working hard, trying to find what works for them, and all of a sudden they found it, and the whole world fell in love with it. This was probably a team that nobody looked at them as far as being champions or, back in the day, because they came out. It's almost like you didn't know how to take these guys. Were they funny? They're goofy, or were they? But you couldn't knock their athletic ability. And so if they were athletic and good entertainers in front of the cameras, and even better people behind the cameras, that's just a winning mixture for a good guys for the company. And so I feel for now, I'm just going to temporarily say good luck. That Kishi is a big fan of New Day, all three of y'all. I'm not going to separate you guys, all three of y'all. And I wish y'all nothing but the best.
Here's a hard-hitting question, Big Keish.
Bring it on.
The New Day versus Too Cool in a dance-off. Who wins?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Come on. You look fly today. Come on now.
Oh,
if they were to play both of those songs, New Day's song and our song.
Yeah.
We talking 20, 30 years back.
But it's still a banger.
That song
it still holds today.
It's one of those songs that just stays in your head.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Once you hear it, you already know who that song belongs to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but hey, I'm good to get it on with the New Day. I mean, it'll be something cool for the fans. Maybe we can all bust a move together. Hell, the whole Attitude Era bust a move with us. Why not?
That's right.
Why not add New Day? So, yeah, man.
There it is.
New Day, man.
Too cool.
I'm going to miss y'all, man.
Man, same
I'm
here.
going to miss it.
Love Big E. Love Big E.
Right?
Big fan.
Kofi Kingston.
Yes, sir. Xavier Woods, no doubt.
Xavier Woods, man. So, I've seen Xavier Woods at DragonCon.
Yeah.
I had no idea, Xavier Woods he likes those cosplay stuff. So this guy walks up. I'm getting ready to walk out to go do my signing. And so he walks up and he looks like Xavier Woods. And I'm saying, man, that guy looks just like it. He's pretty good. And then he comes and introduces himself to me. It was Xavier Woods. It's like, oh, so I owe him an apology. I said, oh, man, I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
My eyes is bad. So, but give me a yeet from my man, Xavier Woods.
Right.
Big shout out to those.
Big Keish, we're going to wrap this show up with somebody who's been on my mind lately because I saw him he went to Kavika's school a few weeks back and made the press. Miro. I want to talk about Miro before we wrap up today's show.
Good guy.
First of all, you're close with Miro. How's Miro doing nowadays?
Miro's good. He'll hit me up when he's here in Los Angeles. The one thing I love about Miro is I always see him going back home to spend time with his parents. The last time I seen his parents was in 2015 when Miro's first WrestleMania against John Cena. Miro came out on a tank.
You got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I got inducted into the Hall of Fame. And, the after party where we were there together. Mm-hmm. And I finally met Miro's parents. And they don't speak English, right? So they were talking to Miro, and Miro was, translating to me. And basically they were just saying thank you for giving their son an opportunity, for helping him, train him. And now look, he's here, main eventing against John Cena and blah, blah, blah. And so, we hugged each other, because as proud as they were of Miro, I was too as well as a coach, right? And so I told Miro that I told him that it wasn't all the academy. It wasn't all us, to let his parents know that, he had a lot to do in the work, staying consistent and doing the things that he's supposed to do to be able to, finally get his opportunity. All we did was just give him the tools, and he just executed the tools and perfect the craft, and stay in the gym, and he never missed training, and so he was like committed, and so he explained that to his parents, and we all just had a kind of a group hug. So Miro's like a student, but also like I feel like he's like a son to me. He was one of those guys back in the day who was destined to never quit. Like there was his purpose was he really need to make this happen as far as coming to, making a career of professional wrestling, not only for himself, but for his family. And so I always see him, traveling back and forth, to go visit his parents. And then when he comes here to Los Angeles, the one thing I love about him is like the same guy that left is the same guy that comes back. He still comes back to the academy. He'll come train some of the students. He'll, have this little Q&A and, have a heart-to-heart talk because, at one time he was like them. And so it's good to see that he never got big-headed, like, that he always came back home, But he was just a humble dude. Miro was just, well, you know him. He's just a humble guy. What you see on TV, like he's a beast, like he knows when it's time to turn it on. But when he comes out, man, he's a jokester. He's a humble guy. He loves the helping hand. We like to, link up when both our times permit. We like to go eat Korean barbecue and kind of just catch up with family. And, I always ask the same thing. How are you?
Right.
How's your body? Are you healthy? That's always my conversation with him, And so he's doing well. Miro's doing well for himself. He doesn't have to go to work if he doesn't want to. But that's the love that he has, of enjoying what he does and what he trained for in the business, So, I think that, with his run on AWA, I would have liked to see AWA utilize this guy, this mega athlete, in and out the squared circle. I would have liked to see them use him in a big storyline. Like, I really feel like, he can draw some serious money for AEW. But I feel like, they dropped the ball on Miro. So let's see. Let's see. You never know. Maybe he might come back to WWE, because, WWE definitely can use a good hand, such as, Rusev to come back, So we'll see. So.
Shout out Miro.
Yeah, right.
Right on, Big Keish. Again, it was a good seeing you this week as always. Do you have any final words?
Well, as always, it's free to be kind to one another, right? And always smarten up. We out.